Ladies and gentlemen, let me begin by saying this: there's power in silence. It's the kind of power you don't see, but you feel. In a world that pushes us to react, to answer back, to fight for our pride, it's easy to fall into the trap of engaging with negativity. But what if I told you that the true strength lies not in how you react, but in how you choose not to? We live in a time where reactions are often seen as a sign of strength. Someone insults you, you fire back. Someone wrongs you, you fight back. But here's the truth: reacting is easy. It's reactive. It's something that comes naturally. But the real test, the real strength, is in controlling yourself, in staying calm, and cutting off the negativity silently. When you don't react, you take back control. You stop giving others power over your emotions. It's like standing still in the middle of a storm while everything around you is chaotic. You remain unshaken. That's strength. That's wisdom. In life, one of the most valuable skills we can develop is the ability to control our emotions, especially in moments when we're pushed to react. We all experience situations where someone says something hurtful, frustrating, or disrespectful, and our immediate instinct is to respond in kind. It's natural to want to defend ourselves or prove a point, but it's in these moments that our ability to remain calm, composed, and in control of our emotions makes all the difference. When we allow ourselves to react impulsively, it often leads to regret. In the heat of the moment, we may say or do things we later wish we hadn't. The words we speak in anger can hurt others, damage relationships, or even undermine our own sense of self-respect. But when we learn to control our emotions, we not only avoid these negative outcomes, but also gain a sense of inner strength and confidence that others can't easily take away. Controlling your emotions doesn't mean suppressing them or pretending you're unaffected. It means being aware of how you're feeling and taking a moment to decide how to respond in a way that aligns with your values. It's about choosing your reactions carefully, rather than letting your emotions dictate your actions. When we react impulsively, we let our emotions control us. But when we control our emotions, we take back the power. We no longer let external situations determine our mood or state of mind. Instead, we decide how we want to engage with the world. This is especially important in conflict or challenging situations. If we react out of frustration, anger, or hurt, we often end up escalating the situation rather than resolving it. However, if we remain calm, we create space for thoughtful responses and solutions that can lead to better outcomes for everyone involved. Controlling your emotions doesn't mean you're weak or avoiding confrontation. It means you are strong enough to pause, reflect, and choose your response intentionally. This kind of emotional intelligence helps you remain in control of your own narrative. In a world that often values quick reactions and sharp comebacks, it takes courage and strength to stay calm and respond with grace. When we practice emotional control, we also learn to maintain a sense of peace within ourselves. The ability to not react immediately allows us to assess a situation more clearly, without being clouded by emotional impulses. This helps us respond more rationally and effectively, which in turn helps us navigate life's challenges with more clarity and composure. Learning to control our emotions is one of the most powerful things we can do for our own well-being. It allows us to handle difficult situations with dignity and to protect our mental and emotional health. By refusing to react impulsively, we demonstrate self-respect and resilience. We become better equipped to deal with whatever life throws at us, not because we avoid it, but because we face it with a calm and controlled mind. Silence can often be the most powerful response in a given situation, far surpassing any spoken words. In moments of tension or provocation, many people feel compelled to respond with words, whether in anger, defense, or retaliation. But there's a remarkable strength in choosing to remain silent, particularly when faced with negativity or hostility. Silence speaks volumes, not in an obvious, loud manner, but in a subtle, assertive way that demands respect and attention. When someone tries to provoke you, whether through harsh words, insults, or manipulative behavior, your silence is a reflection of control and power. It's an indication that you refuse to be dragged into the negativity, and instead, You are choosing to maintain your peace. Rather than giving in to the temptation to react, silence forces the other person to reflect on their own actions and words. They are left to question why you're not responding, which often has a far more profound impact than any rebuttal you could offer. The strength of silence is rooted in the ability to choose not to engage. In a world that often prioritizes reaction, silence becomes a bold statement. It says, I don't need to defend myself or justify my actions to you. It also serves as a boundary, letting others know that you won't tolerate disrespect, manipulation, or negativity. When you remain silent, you're not submitting or backing down, you're asserting your self-worth and setting a clear line that others should not cross. Silence creates space for reflection. When you stop reacting in the moment, you allow both yourself and the other person to reflect on the situation more deeply. Often, when we speak impulsively, we don't give ourselves the time to think through the consequences of our words. But by remaining silent, you create an opportunity to choose a more thoughtful, measured response, or sometimes, to simply walk away from the situation entirely. This act of silence can be a sign of wisdom, signaling that you understand that some things are not worth responding to, and some people are not worth engaging with. Silence can actually be more impactful than any words could ever be. While a sharp reply or a heated argument might escalate the situation, silence leaves the other person to confront the reality of their own behavior. It disarms them in a way words never could. In fact, silence often speaks louder than words because it shows that you're unaffected, undeterred, and in control of your emotions and actions. By choosing silence, you are not ignoring the situation, but rather elevating yourself above the fray. You are demonstrating maturity in emotional intelligence. Silence becomes a tool for maintaining your integrity and not allowing others to provoke you into behaving in ways that don't align with your values. It allows you to rise above the situation, holding on to your peace and your sense of self, without being swayed by external forces. The power of silence lies in its ability to communicate without saying a word. It says, I know my worth and I don't need to engage in this negativity. It protects your peace, asserts your boundaries, and often leads to a resolution far more meaningful than any argument ever could. Protecting your peace is one of the most important things you can do for your mental and emotional well-being. In life, we often encounter people or situations that disrupt our sense of calm and create unnecessary stress. Whether it's a toxic relationship, a negative environment, or constant drama, these things can slowly chip away at our happiness and peace of mind. The act of protecting your peace isn't about avoiding challenges, but about choosing where to invest your energy and what to allow into your life. It's about recognizing that you have the right to safeguard your mental and emotional state from influences that bring harm. When we allow negativity to persist in our lives, we risk becoming consumed by it. Constant exposure to toxic people, unhealthy environments, or stressful situations can cause anxiety, frustration, and even resentment. We may feel drained or emotionally overwhelmed, losing sight of our own happiness and peace. Protecting your peace is about setting boundaries and knowing when to walk away from these draining situations. It means prioritizing your well-being over the need to engage in every conflict or every argument that comes your way. This doesn't mean that you should avoid conflict altogether or become indifferent to the people around you. On the contrary, protecting your peace means being proactive about how you deal with challenges. It means recognizing when something or someone is threatening your peace and making a conscious decision to either remove yourself from the situation or change how you interact with it. Sometimes the most peaceful response is to simply disengage, whether by distancing yourself from toxic people or by stepping away from environments that are constantly negative. In doing so, you're preserving your emotional resources for things that truly matter instead of wasting them on things beyond your control. The concept of protecting your peace also involves self-care. It means acknowledging that you deserve to have moments of rest, calm, and joy without the intrusion of stress or negativity. Practicing self-care is an essential part of maintaining mental peace, whether it's through physical activities, relaxation, meditation, or simply making time for the things that bring you happiness. This kind of peace comes from within, and is something that needs to be nurtured. The more you focus on your own well-being, the better equipped you'll be to deal with external stressors without letting them consume you. Protecting your peace is an act of self-respect. It shows that you value yourself enough to not let others control your emotions or invade your mental space. It's about being discerning, knowing what's worth your time and energy, and what isn't. When you protect your peace, you set a standard for how others should treat you. You teach people how to treat you by how you allow them to affect you. If you constantly allow others to drain your energy or disrupt your peace, you're teaching them that it's okay to treat you that way. But when you take a stand and protect your peace, you set a clear boundary that demands respect. Protecting your peace is not about avoiding the world or cutting off all relationships. It's about maintaining balance, staying grounded, and ensuring that you are not easily swayed by outside negativity. It's a conscious choice to prioritize your mental health and emotional well-being, recognizing that you cannot pour from an empty cup. When you protect your peace, you not only improve your own life, but also become better equipped to handle whatever challenges come your way with a calm and focused mindset. Non-reaction is a powerful choice that demonstrates emotional maturity and self-control. In a world where we're often encouraged to respond quickly to challenges or provocations, choosing not to react can feel counterintuitive, even difficult. Yet, in many situations, non-reaction is one of the most effective tools for maintaining inner peace and gaining control over a situation. The ability to pause, assess, and choose whether or not to react is a sign of strength, and it reflects a deep understanding of the importance of emotional regulation. When we react impulsively, we often do so based on our immediate feelings: anger, frustration, fear, or even excitement. These initial emotions can cloud our judgment and lead us to make decisions we later regret. When we react without thinking, we allow ourselves to be controlled by those emotions, which can result in responses that escalate the situation, hurt others, or create unnecessary drama. Non-reaction, on the other hand, is an intentional choice to not let our emotions dictate our actions. By not reacting immediately, we take a step back and gain clarity, preventing impulsive decisions that we might not align with our true intentions or values. Choosing not to react doesn't mean we're ignoring the situation or avoiding confrontation. It means we're taking a moment to breathe, reflect, and respond thoughtfully. In moments of tension, the act of pausing allows us to regain our composure and decide how we want to engage with the situation. Instead of reacting out of anger or hurt, we can respond with a calm, measured approach that is more likely to lead to a positive outcome. Non-reaction creates space between stimulus and response, giving us the opportunity to process our emotions and determine the most effective course of action. One of the key benefits of non-reaction is that it allows us to maintain control of our emotions and actions. When we react impulsively, we lose control, often letting external circumstances dictate how we feel and how we behave. But when we choose not to react, we take back that control, refusing to let someone else's actions determine how we will respond. Non-reaction, in this sense, is empowering. It's a reminder that we have the power to decide how we will handle any given situation, no matter how challenging. Non-reaction can be incredibly disarming to others. In situations where someone is trying to provoke us, whether through insults, passive aggression, or manipulation, our lack of response can often leave them feeling unsettled or confused. They may be expecting a reaction, and when none comes, they are forced to reflect on their own behavior. This silence can have a more profound impact than any verbal response, as it shows that we are unshaken and that their attempts to provoke us have no power. Choosing non-reaction can also be a way of protecting our peace. By refusing to engage with negativity, we avoid getting caught up in unproductive conflict or emotional turmoil. It's a reminder that we don't need to respond to every challenge or engage with every person who tries to disrupt our calm. Non-reaction is a form of self-care. It's a way of protecting our mental and emotional well-being from unnecessary stress and drama. Non-reaction is about making a conscious choice to remain grounded, composed, and in control. It's an act of wisdom, showing that we understand that not every situation requires a response, and that sometimes silence is the most powerful and effective answer. By choosing non-reaction, We assert our strength and our ability to navigate life's challenges with grace and emotional intelligence. Setting boundaries is an essential part of maintaining emotional health and personal integrity. Often we find ourselves in situations where people or circumstances try to overstep our personal limits, whether through intrusive behavior, excessive demands, or disrespectful treatment. Establishing clear boundaries isn't just about saying no to others, it's about affirming what is acceptable in our lives and what is not. Boundaries serve as a protective measure that allows us to safeguard our well-being while ensuring that we are treated with the respect and consideration we deserve. When we fail to set boundaries, we run the risk of allowing others to take advantage of us, emotionally or otherwise. This could lead to burnout, resentment, or feeling overwhelmed. Without boundaries, we may also begin to lose a sense of control over our own lives as we constantly accommodate others at the expense of our own needs. Setting boundaries, therefore, is an act of self-care and self-respect. It acknowledges that our time, energy, and emotional resources are valuable, and we have the right to decide how we want to spend them. Boundaries also communicate our values and priorities. They're a reflection of what matters most to us, whether it's our mental health, our time, our relationships, or our peace of mind. By setting clear boundaries, we let others know what is acceptable behavior and what is not. This doesn't mean we have to be harsh or confrontational, but it does mean that we must be firm and consistent in communicating our limits. When we establish boundaries, we are teaching others how to treat us, and we are taking control of how we engage with the world around us. Many people find it difficult to set boundaries because they fear confrontation or rejection. We may worry that saying no will upset others or damage relationships. However, it's important to remember that setting boundaries is not about being selfish or rude, it's about preserving our own emotional and mental health. When we neglect to set boundaries, we may eventually feel resentment toward those who have overstepped. But when we communicate our limits clearly and respectfully, we create a healthier dynamic where everyone's needs are considered. In relationships, boundaries allow us to establish a sense of mutual respect. When both parties understand each other's limits and respect them, trust and understanding deepen. Healthy boundaries also help prevent manipulation and emotional exhaustion. They ensure that we don't allow others to take too much from us, while also ensuring that we are not overextending ourselves in ways that lead to stress and frustration. Healthy boundaries make it possible to nurture relationships without losing our sense of self in the process. Setting boundaries is an ongoing practice. It requires self-awareness and the courage to uphold them, especially when it's uncomfortable or challenging. Sometimes people may test those boundaries, pushing us to see how far they can go. But standing firm in our boundaries reinforces our commitment to our own well-being and values. It's a way of saying, I know what I need and I'm willing to protect it. Setting boundaries isn't just about protecting ourselves from others, it's about honoring ourselves. It's about recognizing our own worth and taking the necessary steps to ensure that we are treated with dignity and respect. By setting boundaries, we take control of our lives, define the terms of our relationships, and create space for peace, balance, and personal growth. Self-worth and dignity are foundational aspects of who we are as individuals. Recognizing your value is essential because it shapes how you interact with the world and how you allow others to treat you. When you know your worth, you stop seeking validation from others and you start acting in a way that reflects the respect and love you have for yourself. This self-recognition isn't about arrogance, it's about understanding that you are deserving of respect, peace, and happiness, regardless of how others perceive you or treat you. When we lack a clear sense of self-worth, we may allow others to define our value. This can lead to unhealthy relationships, situations where we accept mistreatment or disrespect, and a tendency to put others' needs ahead of our own well-being. We may find ourselves constantly seeking approval or permission to assert our rights or express our feelings. However, when we truly recognize our self-worth, we become less reliant on others for validation. We set our own standards for how we should be treated, and we make choices that align with those standards. Dignity, closely linked to self-worth, is the inherent sense of value that all individuals have simply by virtue of being human. It means standing tall in your truth, respecting your own feelings, and never allowing anyone to diminish your sense of self. Dignity is the backbone of self-respect. It is about maintaining integrity in the face of adversity, not compromising your values to appease others or to fit in. It's a quiet strength that comes from knowing that no matter the situation, you are worthy of being treated with decency and kindness. When we fail to recognize our self-worth, we often allow ourselves to be caught in toxic situations or relationships that undermine our dignity. We may tolerate bad behavior from others, believing that we are unworthy of better treatment. This self-neglect erodes our confidence, creates a cycle of self-doubt, and leads us to believe that we must settle for less than we deserve. But when we have a strong sense of self-worth, we make decisions that honor our dignity. We know that we are worthy of respect and we expect it from others. This doesn't mean we are entitled, but it means that we are not willing to sacrifice our mental and emotional health to appease anyone. Understanding our worth and maintaining our dignity also allows us to cut off negativity from our lives. We no longer tolerate mistreatment, manipulation, or toxic behaviors because we understand that these actions do not align with the way we see ourselves. Our self-worth gives us the strength to walk away from people or situations that diminish us. By doing so, we protect our mental and emotional well-being, ensuring that we do not allow others to define our value or compromise our peace. When we truly value ourselves, we stop seeking validation from others and instead focus on the internal validation that comes from within. This internal strength becomes the foundation for making decisions that protect our self-worth, allowing us to engage with the world from a place of confidence, respect, and emotional security. Self-worth isn't about being perfect, it's about accepting yourself for who you are and recognizing that you are worthy of love, respect, and peace just as you are. Learning to let go of things or people that no longer serve you is an essential part of personal growth and emotional well-being. Often, we find ourselves holding on to relationships, situations, or emotions that no longer contribute positively to our lives, either out of habit, fear of change, or a sense of obligation. However, the act of letting go is not about abandoning or giving up. It's about making the conscious decision to release what weighs you down, to create space for healing, growth, and new opportunities. When we hold on to people or things that drain us emotionally, mentally, or physically, we prevent ourselves from moving forward. We may cling to toxic relationships because we fear loneliness or because we feel indebted to others, but this only leads to emotional exhaustion, frustration, and self-sabotage. Letting go in these situations means acknowledging that the relationship or situation is no longer serving its intended purpose in our lives and that it's time to prioritize our own well-being over fear or obligation. Letting go is not about severing ties abruptly or acting out of anger. It's about recognizing that it's okay to step away from something that no longer aligns with who you are or where you're headed. It's about understanding that you deserve to live a life filled with positive, supportive relationships and experiences that encourage your growth and happiness. Sometimes we hold on because we fear the unknown or feel insecure about what might happen if we let go. But in reality, letting go opens the door to new possibilities, better opportunities, and personal transformation. Letting go involves releasing negative emotions or past experiences that continue to haunt us. These might be past traumas, regrets, failures, or fears. Holding on to these emotions can prevent us from healing and moving forward. We may be holding on to pain and resentment that, while real, no longer serve us in any constructive way. Letting go of past hurts doesn't mean we forget or deny our experiences. It means freeing ourselves from the emotional weight that comes with them. When we let go of old wounds, we allow ourselves the opportunity to heal and to focus on creating a future that aligns with our goals and aspirations. Letting go can also apply to material possessions, old habits, or mindsets that no longer serve us. These might be objects that hold sentimental value but prevent us from creating a space that promotes positivity, or habits that we have outgrown but continue to hold onto out of routine. By letting go of these things, we make room for new opportunities and a fresh start. It's about simplifying our lives and focusing on what truly brings us joy, fulfillment, and growth. The act of letting go is empowering. It is a conscious choice to reclaim control over our lives and to stop being weighed down by the past or by things that no longer serve us. It's a reminder that we don't have to hold on to what harms us or keeps us stuck. When we let go, we embrace the possibility of transformation, renewal, and self-discovery. Ultimately, letting go is an act of self-love, a recognition that we deserve a life filled with peace, positivity, and opportunities for growth. Emotional intelligence is the ability to understand and manage our emotions, as well as the emotions of others. It plays a crucial role in how we navigate the world, build relationships, and maintain inner peace. People with high emotional intelligence are able to respond to situations thoughtfully, rather than reacting impulsively based on their emotions. This allows them to handle conflicts with grace, maintain composure in stressful situations, and communicate more effectively. Developing emotional intelligence is essential for personal growth and success, as it enables us to maintain control over our reactions, protect our peace, and make decisions that align with our long-term goals. One of the key components of emotional intelligence is self-awareness. Being self-aware means understanding your own emotions, recognizing how they influence your behavior, and being able to identify how you feel in any given moment. When we are self-aware, we can better manage our reactions to stress, conflict, or negative situations. We are more likely to pause and reflect before responding, which helps us avoid making impulsive decisions that we may later regret. Self-awareness also allows us to identify our triggers and work through them, instead of allowing them to dictate our behavior. Another important aspect of emotional intelligence is self-regulation, or the ability to manage our emotions effectively. Self-regulation involves maintaining control over our impulses and responding to situations in a calm, composed manner. It's about being able to pause, take a deep breath, and choose how to respond rather than reacting out of anger, frustration, or fear. This is particularly important in difficult or high-pressure situations where quick reactions can escalate conflicts or cause unnecessary stress. By practicing self-regulation, we can maintain emotional balance, which helps us protect our peace and make thoughtful, measured decisions. Empathy is another crucial element of emotional intelligence. Empathy is the ability to understand and share the feelings of others. It allows us to connect with people on a deeper level, offering support and understanding in times of need. Empathy also helps us navigate conflicts more effectively, as it allows us to see things from another person's perspective. When we empathize with others, we are less likely to react defensively or dismissively. Instead, we are more likely to respond with compassion, creating an environment of mutual respect and understanding. Emotional intelligence also involves social skills, which are essential for building strong, healthy relationships. People with high emotional intelligence are skilled communicators, able to express their thoughts and feelings clearly while also listening to others with patience and understanding. They are also adept at managing relationships, knowing how to collaborate, resolve conflicts, and maintain harmony in group settings. Having strong social skills allows us to build trust and rapport with others, fostering positive interactions and deepening our connections. Emotional intelligence is essential for personal and professional success. It enables us to maintain control over our emotions, respond effectively to challenges, and build positive relationships with others. Developing emotional intelligence is a lifelong journey that requires practice and self-reflection. By improving our emotional intelligence, we not only enhance our ability to manage our emotions, but also increase our capacity for empathy, communication, and connection with others. This, in turn, helps us navigate life with greater ease, resilience, and peace of mind. Mastering the art of not reacting and instead cutting off negativity silently is a powerful tool for maintaining peace and emotional well-being in a chaotic world. By protecting your peace, setting boundaries, and understanding your self-worth, you empower yourself to create the life you deserve. Non-reaction is not weakness, it's a sign of strength and emotional intelligence, demonstrating your ability to stay grounded amidst the noise. Letting go of toxic influences and cultivating empathy allows us to foster healthier relationships and enrich our personal growth. In the end, the choice to respond thoughtfully rather than react impulsively is an act of self-respect. And it is through this process that we create a life of dignity, balance, and inner peace. So I encourage you today, don't feel the need to react to every challenge. Instead, take control of your response, cut off what no longer serves you, and step forward into a future that aligns with your highest self. Thank you.